Welcome back to Coffee Talk with DJ and Risa, your shot of real estate wisdom in 15 minutes or less. Since it is now officially October, we are talking about scary things in real estate. And today's horror story is one every agent has faced, which is, and ooh, this gives me the shivers, the nightmare of overpricing a listing.
Yes, that haunted house that sits on the market because the seller's convinced it's worth more than it really is. That's scary. So, today we're going to help you handle those scary conversations with confidence and share some pricing strategies that stop your listings from being ghost towns. But before we continue, congratulations, DJ. I hear something very exciting has happened for you.
It has. Thank you. I'm officially. Thank you. That's very nice of you. It is. I'm officially engaged, and I'm very lucky to have the partner I have. And her name is Natalie, and she is on her way to Kohler, Wisconsin, with her mother and her sister to have a nice girls' weekend. We just got back from a trip, and now she gets to go on another trip. So she gets to get pampered for the next few days, and I'm very lucky to
Love it.
be in their lives. And
Love it.
and also happy Yom Kippur to our Jewish list followers and listeners. We're excited to celebrate that with you.
Yes.
So
Well,
let's get.
congratulations. We're so happy for you. So before we talk about scary stuff, I wanted to get all the good happiness out of the way.
Thank you. That's very sweet of you. And we're excited to keep bringing these episodes to you throughout all our life events. So, why is overpricing so scary? So let's think about that. Like first, it is scary because buyers are educated today, right? They are scrolling Redfin, they're scrolling Zillow, the MLS, they have access, and if a home is overpriced, they know. But instead of affecting others, it really scares buyers away.
And here's the real nightmare. An overpriced listing actually helps other agents sell those competing houses that are priced right. So if a house lingers too long, buyers start whispering, "What's wrong with it?"
Yeah.
And now you've got a stigmatized property, and we all know what that means, right? The bottom feeders are going to start coming out. So here's a quick tip. Mention stats like homes priced right from day one sell for more money than those that chase the market. We know your seller is going to try to price it way too high, and you got to keep repeating that again. Homes priced right from day one sell for more money than those that chase the market. All right. All right. So, DJ, what happens when the seller tells us that their neighbor's house sold for more?
Oh gosh, yeah. This is a tough one. So the neighbor house sells for $50,000 more, and now you have to handle that conversation. Risa, what should we do about
I was hoping you would tell us that, but yeah,
that?
I totally understand that. The seller wants more for their home. So you say, I understand where you're coming from. You want the most for your home. My job is to make sure you actually get it. Here's a scary truth. When we price a property too high, we end up chasing the market down and you actually net less.
Yeah,
So, for those of you who don't know what chasing the market is, if you picture a graph right now where you come on the market day zero and you're at your price, we're going to call that market value.
yeah,
Unfortunately, the longer you stay on the market, the the depreciation or the number goes down. And then what happens is somebody else comes on the market in between, and you have to chase that market and be priced where that competing property is. And in a market like today that is balanced, we are doing a lot of chasing the market. So if you price too high, you'll chase the market and net less. So seller, if we start at the right price, we create competition and buyers will drive it up. And we're seeing that in some areas where people are going into multiple offers.
yeah. I think there's a little bit of a psychological hurdle there for a lot of owners. They want to list at the highest possible price because the neighbor's home sold higher, and yeah, it can be really scary. Here's another script that I love when dealing with the situation, which is you set the asking price, but the market sets the selling price. So let's use this data to make sure buyers see value and come running instead of running away.
I love that. That was a great script. So when they dig in, the sellers, I sometimes use visuals and I'll show three groups of homes. One that was priced right and sold fast, close to asking. One that was overpriced and maybe still sitting on the market. And the sweet spot where they had multiple offers. Sellers can't argue with the story that the data tells. There are a lot of visuals you can use. I also like to use price lines, which never lie, and they're great for visual as well as analytical sellers. So bring a pricing pyramid or an
Mm.
absorption chart to show the impact of pricing on the buyer traffic. You can get both of these tools off of InfoSparks or RPR.
Yeah, both built right into MRED. So wonderful, wonderful idea there. And let's give the agents some more tricks. Not tricks for their clients or on their clients, but tools to make things a little less frightening out there.
Okay. So I think, first of all, a lot of real estate agents make the mistake of telling their seller that they think they should be priced at X dollar.
Mm,
And I think that you should be using ranges. Like,
yeah.
based on the comps, your home will sell between X dollars and X dollars, like 475,000 to 500K. That's way you're not locked into one scary number. Now, what affects that range is going to be the market. We're going to talk to them about that in a few minutes, but always talk about ranges. Second, explain that online search brackets matter. So if
Yes.
you list a property at 505,000, you'll miss every buyer searching 450 to 500. That's a graveyard and you don't want to live in it. I am really fond of pricing on the zeros, the 25s, the 50s.
Yeah.
So 500,000 would pick up all the buyers, 450 to 500 and 500 and up. Okay, when you price at 505 or 499, you miss out on those opportunities.
Yeah, I want to jump in for a quick sec because what you're saying is so important. If we just think about how people search with their fingers on their phones on places like Zillow,
Mhm.
Redfin, you're right. They're sliding a bar,
Yeah.
and they are probably in their mind, those hard numbers, those hard end numbers, is where their mind goes to. So yeah, you're right. Let's price within there so that they can see it versus maybe not see it.
Well, and personally, if I my client's property is probably 500,000 or 505,000, I want to pick up all the buyers that can afford more
Yeah.
and maybe those that are willing to creep up just a little bit.
Yep.
So by pricing right at 500, that bridge price gives you two buyer pools, which means more exposure, which means hopefully more offers, which also means driving the price up in a competitive market.
Very smart.
All right. Now, one of my favorites is to test the market. Price a property really aggressively and go in and attract those multiple offers and let the buyers compete. That means sometimes pricing lower than that price. So again, using that example, if that property is worth 505 and you price it at 500, you may be driving the market. If you go to 475, you're really going to drive hopefully the competition and more buyers looking at it. You know it's a good deal. You want to jump in and you want to write an offer. That's how you create a bidding war instead of crickets. I'm not hearing anything.
I studied psychology in college, and I remember there was this one principle called the escalation of commitment. And
Ooh,
basically, what it is, it's a psychological principle that we all succumb to, which is the more emotionally we are invested in something, the harder it is for us to walk away. So, homes, of course, are that emotional pull. Like, this is the place I want to live. And then you put in your bid, and then somebody comes in just a little bit higher than you. It is hard to walk away at that point, as opposed to going, people, auctioneers know this. This is why auctions happen. Somebody goes, I bid this. Somebody goes, well, I want it for a little bit more. And they go, no, 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 I want it for more. And so that really does start to happen. It is much harder to walk away from something than to enter something. So getting somebody to enter is what you want, as Risa said, and then letting the market work itself out where they can compete is really going to be a fun strategy and going to get your clients the best value. So let's just recap everything. So overpricing here is the real monster under the bed. It drains your energy, it drains your listings energy, it scares off buyers, and it can even haunt your reputation. That's a really important one that we really didn't talk about, but so critical is like your reputation is really important. You want to be the agent that gets things done. And people go, wow, list with him or her, they get things done.
I'm sure, DJ, you've seen signs of some agents like sitting out there for a year, and you're like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with that agent? Why can't they get that property sold? And the truth be told, it's just that they started at the wrong price. So you don't want to ruin your reputation. I also think with the right scripts, with data and pricing strategies, you can turn that nightmare into a dream closing. We have a lot of scripts here at Kale Realty through our
Mhm.
locker room. Um, we've had an amazing managing broker who is also an appraiser. He is great at pricing strategies. He can look at a property and right off know its market value. So utilize what we've got here to hone your skills so that really you become a guide, not a ghost with your sellers, and your sellers will really thank you.
Well, that is it for today's Coffee Talk. Please join us next week. We'll continue our scary things in real estate series. Happy October, Risa, and happy fall to everyone. It is a fun time of year. Until then, let's keep your coffee hot and your contract signed.
Well, and I want to remind everybody that next Tuesday is our summit. So,
Yes.
our summit is all about the mindset of an investor. We've got incredible speakers
Mm.
planned for you. So, please get your ticket. We are going to be at Carlucci in Rosemont. It's going to be a great venue, and we hope to see all of you there.
Yeah, if you are a Kale agent, reach out to us. We've got a seat for you. If you are not a Kale agent and you would like to attend, this is a seminar where we have, as Risa said, amazing speakers going to talk about fix and flips, buy and holds, title issues when it comes to investing, how to attract investors, as well as financing. How do you get deals done? It's an educational event, and it's going to be amazing. We have a few seats left for non-Kale agents. We can get you in, and we have amazing sponsors that are willing to help support the event so that you can attend. So if you want to attend, reach out to us one way or another. We will try to find you a seat. We do have a few spots left, and we will see you there. That is on the 7th at Carlucci's, starting at 10 a.m., I believe.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, we are fired up. But thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you so much, DJ. And again, congratulations.
Thank you so much, everyone.